What is up YouTube, JC Games here, and today's video is a lot more serious compared to other videos because if you read the title, we are obviously talking about Omori's truth, which is very dark and very messed up, which is why I'm going to do my best to not smile because I end up smiling a lot in my videos. I'm probably smiling right now without even noticing it, but there you go, serious face. So yeah, basically what I'm gonna try to do today is explain everything about the truth, because maybe there's people out there, maybe you, that are very confused about everything that happened, or confused at some parts of it. You're like, why did this all happen? So I'm gonna do my best to answer everything here right now and be serious about it. So first, some background on the whole situation. So before Sunny even got his violin again, or got another new violin, Marie was very busy with, preparing for college and practicing piano and I guess just life in general. So she did not have time to spend with her friends or with her little brother, Sunny. So Sunny did not like not spending time with his sister. So he's like, I'm gonna try to pick up the violin, so maybe when she's practicing piano, I could practice violin. And boom, then they have some bonding time together. But Sunny did not have a violin, and the only one he did have was one from when he was younger, and that was most likely way too small for him now. But luckily, his friends noticed that he wanted a violin, so every single one of his friends ended up like working and everything, getting enough money and raised enough money, and they pitched in, and boom, once Christmas time arrived, they were able to get him a new violin. Sunny was determined to get good at playing the violin, not just for Marie, but also for all of his friends that believed in him. He just did not want to let anyone down. But Marie is known to be quite a perfectionist, so when he practiced with her, and she's a perfectionist and everything, of course she wants to be perfect, and Sunny would obviously get frustrated because he's like, he keeps making mistakes, and the more mistakes he makes, the more he's like, I'm not perfect at it, and he just got more and more frustrated. And on top of this, Sunny had to sacrifice the time he spent with his friends because he had to spend time with his tutor and practice the piano and get good at it. At some point, the game doesn't really say when, but at some point, Sunny and Marie, and I guess their parents also, decided that they're gonna play in a recital together. But Sunny just kept getting more and more frustrated with perfectionism and sacrificing his time with his friends, and it was just a big hassle for him with the violin and everything. He just kept getting frustrated at it, and his frustration never really got dealt with. Finally, the day of the recital arrived, and Sunny reached his breaking point, and in a fit of rage, threw his violin down the stairs. And Marie obviously heard it because she was probably somewhere in the house, and she started yelling at him because it was the day of the recital, and she's obviously very frustrated. He just broke his violin and threw their whole recital away pretty much. And all of his friends worked very hard to get his violin, so I'm pretty sure she was like, dude, they did all this and you ended up just throwing it away. But Sunny just there, like, he's just frustrated at everything. Marie's just yelling at him, so he's just confused. He's like, why is she yelling at me? I just want her to understand. So Sunny did not want to hear any of this. He was just too frustrated with everything, and he just wanted Marie to understand how painful it's been for him and how he feels that he's just not good enough for all of this. And Sunny eventually tries running down the stairs, but Marie like blocks him. He's like, I'm not done talking to you. But Sunny just like, why? Like, Sunny's confused, but he's like, I did all of this for you. Why are you mad at me? Eventually, Sunny can no longer stand Marie's yelling, and so he pushes her down the stairs. And keep in mind that his broken violin is still down there, and based on the unused text for the picture of this whole thing, it's pretty much like we can assume that the whole reason Marie's life ended was because that violin was down there. If it wasn't there, who knows what would have happened, but because the violin was there, it ended up ending her life. And Sunny gets sent into a state of panic and despair because his sister just died right in front of him. Not just right in front of him, but by his own hands. So Sunny goes down the stairs and tries, talking to her, tries waking her up, but there's no response. So he's like, he drags her up the stairs and then into her bed. He's like, she just needs some rest, right? He's like, he's still delusional about it, I guess, at this point. And he still tries, waking her up and talking to her, but nothing happens. No, there's no response. And then eventually it sinks in for him that Marie is gone, and he obviously, starts crying, starts panicking, and he wants to ask for help, but he can't, because knowing what he did, he can't really ask for help, because then they'd be like, why did you do this, or what happened? And then he just can't even explain it because of what he did. So he's obviously panicking and everything, but then be like, someone puts his hand on his shoulder and tells him to do something, and of course it's Basil. This whole time Basil was bearing witness to this whole situation, and he saw everything unfold. So knowing what Sunny had done, he wants to do his best to save his best friend, of course. And from here it's pretty obvious what happens to Sunny and Basil carry Marie outside by the tree, and then Basil, based on the text and everything, it basically says that Basil was the one that hung her on the tree with the jump rope, and this is the whole truth, and that's how their whole trauma thing starts, and that's where something comes from, because of the eye popping out and everything. Then he's turned around and so that is the entire truth condensed into, like, I don't know how many minutes that was, but in a short amount of time compared to the game. So yeah, I can smile now that the video is over. We gotta lighten the mood, because that was true too. That was too traumatic. So anyway, that is the truth. I already said it. That is the entire video. I just thought, I have so many videos, and there's so many of them have to do with the truth, and I thought, hey, I might as well just make a video explaining the entire truth. That way we just have a reference point for everything, and I don't have to explain the truth every single time. I probably still will, but at least now I have a video that just explains it. And yeah, maybe I answered questions that people have. They're like, why did this whole thing happen? Ooh, maybe then boom, I have this video now. Now the people know. So anyway, I already said that's a video. I already said that's the entire truth. I don't have an outro. You see, all these YouTubers have an outro. I don't really have an outro. I just say that's the end of the video. So yeah, we'll do an outro. We'll do an outro.